The sky was cloaked in dense clouds, stained red and violet, as if eternity itself were on alert. The wind howled through the cliffs and echoed in the valleys, carrying an unseen omen. Each gust seemed to whisper ancient secrets, words forgotten by men, but etched deep in the spirit. A lone man walked, his steps echoing on the dry stone. He held something precious in his hand, a golden key, gleaming as if forged by angels at the dawn of time. This key didn't open ordinary doors. It opened portals to dimensions the human mind never dared to imagine. Portals guarding the abyss, the dimension of final judgment, of mystery and of hidden truth. The prophet felt the weight of responsibility. The key wasn't just metal and light. It was the testimony of centuries of celestial secrets. Every step he took seemed to resonate with spiritual energy, a vibration that crossed mountains, seas, and hearts. "Son of man," said a voice that seemed to come from every corner of the universe, "prepare to see what no one has seen. He who holds the key stands before the abyss, and only those with faith and discernment can survive the revelation." The shadows lengthened, folding in on themselves, forming figures that seemed to watch the prophet. The air felt alive, charged with an energy that vibrated with ancient warnings. In the distance, a portal began to form. It was a dark vortex, a swirling hole of intertwined light and shadow, pulsing like a heart both divine and profane. He knew that crossing that portal meant confronting not only the mysteries of the abyss, but also the very limits of his faith. The golden key began to glow intensely, responding to the portal's proximity as if it had a life of its own. Each symbol etched on its surface emitted a supernatural heat, and as he touched it, the prophet felt waves of power surge through his soul. The wind brought with it murmurs from ancient ages, stories of prophets who had tried to decipher the abyss and vanished. But the key had chosen its bearer. He moved forward, feeling that each step belonged not just to his body, but to all of creation. The portal enveloped him, and he found himself between dimensions where time and space bent back on themselves. There the abyss wasn't made of simple darkness, but of layers of reality. Each layer held memories of past worlds, of forgotten sins, of secrets kept by God himself for the end of time. The prophet realized he was standing before the spiritual judgment of the universe, and the golden key was the only instrument capable of revealing what remained hidden. Voices began to echo through the void, neither human nor angelic, but spiritual, crossing dimensions. They spoke of imminent changes, the purification of the earth, the awakening of humanity, and the climax of judgment. Each word was like a blade that pierced the mind, revealing truths men would never dare to utter. The abyss had doors, but none were physical. Each passage required discernment, courage, and unwavering faith. The prophet realized the winds blowing around him were like sentinels, testing his resolve, whispering doubts and fears, but also confirming his calling. The golden key reacted, vibrating and emitting an intense golden light, guiding him along the right path. Among the shadows, figures began to emerge. They weren't demons in the traditional sense, but spiritual entities tied to judgment and purification. Each represented a human weakness, a flaw that needed to be confronted and understood. The prophet knew in absolute silence that this was the final test before the true revelation of the abyss. He approached a portal within the abyss itself, a rift of intertwined light and darkness, pulsing with divine power. The golden key turned gently in his hand, opening invisible passages, unlocking layers of reality that only he could traverse. The air grew heavy, almost solid, as he advanced, feeling the presence of God and the weight of eternity at the same time. Inside the abyss, images of nations, empires, and human souls intertwined, showing that the final judgment wasn't just physical, but spiritual. Every mistake, every flaw, every hardened heart was recorded in that dimension. The prophet understood that the golden key not only opened the portal, but also illuminated the darkness, revealing truths that would remain hidden until the end of time. The wind brought a vision, a future where humanity would face final choices, where good and evil would be revealed without disguise. The prophet realized the key was also a symbol of responsibility, to guide, to teach, and to warn men of what was approaching. "The key opens the abyss," the voice said again, deep and echoing, "but only those who stand firm before the judgment will understand what has been revealed." He advanced deeper, feeling the presence of the abyss in every cell of his being. Golden lights emerged from the darkness, forming symbols that spoke of hope, repentance, and redemption. The abyss wasn't just destruction, it was purification and revelation. Everything hidden would be exposed, everything corrupt would be purified. The prophet raised the key, and it began to emit beams of light that pierced through layers of reality, revealing secret passages, spiritual pathways connecting the visible and invisible worlds. He understood that this journey was not his alone. It was the preparation of all humanity for the end of time and the renewal that would come after the judgment. The wind intensified, enveloping him in a storm of spiritual energy. He felt the weight of past ages, the responsibility of the prophets who came before, and the mission God had entrusted to him. The golden key was more than an object. It was the link between the human and the divine, between the material world and the spiritual abyss. As he walked, he realized that each step brought him closer to a truth that would change everything: the essence of judgment, the nature of humanity, and the role of each soul before the Most High. The key didn't just open the abyss, it revealed the paths of redemption and condemnation. The abyss opened before him like an infinite well, its depths intertwined with light and shadow, reflecting the secrets of forgotten centuries. Each layer revealed mysteries of the final judgment, spiritual dimensions, and memories of humanity, visible only through the golden key pulsing in his hand. As he crossed the first rift, he felt the weight of thousands of souls and past ages. Distant voices murmured in forgotten tongues, some asking for forgiveness, others challenging divine authority. The blowing wind seemed to carry every cry directly to the essence of creation, as if all reality was witnessing that moment. There, the prophet realized the abyss was not simply a place of condemnation, but a spiritual mirror, reflecting the soul of every human being. Every mistake, every action, every impure thought took form, becoming tangible before his spiritual eyes. The golden key reacted, opening invisible doors that showed not only the past, but future possibilities, paths of redemption and destruction. The silence within the abyss was deafening. Every beat of his heart resonated in the depths like thunder. He understood that judgment was not limited to the wicked, but reached even the righteous who faltered, testing the firmness of their faith. The golden key vibrated with increasing intensity, guiding him through ever more complex passages, illuminating symbols that told stories of prophets, kings, angels, and Christ himself. Between shadows and pulsating lights, smaller portals emerged, each leading to a specific revelation. One showed the secrets of the human heart, its weaknesses and regrets. Another revealed the judgments approaching the earth, natural and spiritual catastrophes that would shape the last days. A third, deeper one, displayed the confrontation between heavenly forces and the powers of darkness. Battles that would occur beyond human perception, but whose effects would be felt throughout the world. The prophet advanced with caution. Each step required discernment and courage, for any mistake could trap him in the lower layers of the abyss, where only the key's light could rescue him. He realized the key was not just an instrument, but an extension of the Spirit of God itself, responding to his faith, courage, and spiritual perception. Then in the heart of the abyss, He faced what could be called the core of judgment, a sphere of light and darkness spinning in perfect balance. Within it, images of humanity's past and future intertwined, revealing the secret designs of the Most High. Each soul was represented by a spark of light or shadow, depending on their choices, beliefs, and actions. The golden key began to emit an intense glow, pulsing in sync with the sphere. The prophet understood that only he, with his faith and discernment, could comprehend the totality of the abyss. As he touched the sphere, he felt a current of spiritual knowledge flow through his mind, revealing divine plans and warnings for those who still walked in ignorance. Among these visions, he saw the final reconciliation of souls with God, the righteous being lifted up and the wicked facing the power of judgment. But he also perceived something deeper. The abyss was not just punishment, but a divine laboratory of transformation, where every mistake could be purified and every hardened heart softened. The wind inside the abyss grew more intense, carrying echoes of trumpets and cries from celestial beings. They seemed to watch the prophet, testing his faith and courage as the golden key continued to guide him through corridors of light and shadow, revealing secrets that were never written or spoken in any human language. As he progressed, the prophet felt that each layer of the abyss corresponded to an aspect of humanity: pride, fear, faith, repentance, hope, and despair. The golden key reacted to each emotion, each thought, opening new doors and illuminating the path, revealing that God's judgment is always balanced with mercy, revelation, and the opportunity for redemption. Finally, he reached the central chamber of the abyss, where darkness met light at a point of divine equilibrium. There he saw the final destiny of each soul, the end of secrets, and the complete revelation of the final judgment. The golden key began to float, spinning slowly, emitting a sound that was simultaneously powerful and serene, a vibration that seemed to align the universe with the Creator's will. At that moment, the prophet understood the magnitude of his mission. He was the bearer of the abyss's revelation, responsible for witnessing, understanding, and transmitting these truths. The golden key not only opened portals, but illuminated man's understanding of divine mysteries, preparing hearts for what was to come. The wind calmed, leaving a feeling of absolute silence and expectation. The prophet breathed deeply, aware that he had completed only the first part of his journey in the abyss, but that the revelation had forever changed his perception of creation, judgment, and divine mercy. "The key has opened the abyss," said the voice echoing throughout the dimension, "and those who have heard the truth will be prepared for the days to come. Share, awaken, and prepare humanity for what is about to be revealed." If this journey through the abyss has stirred something within you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Your support allows us to continue exploring these profound spiritual mysteries. Thank you for watching.